My name is Darlene Newstrom, and I go to church at Shiloh United Methodist Church. And I'm here to talk to you today about sharing. And my experience with sharing has been kind of twofold. I was on the missions committee over at Shiloh and was not having a very good time only because of the paperwork and the meetings. And I wanted to do something more fun. So I began praying last October about a project that I could get fired up about. And when I prayed to God, I thought, needs to be something I'm good at, something that's easy, something I can just dig right in and get to. Well, as the weeks went by, I kept getting one constant message, and the message was that I should be making mittens. Well, this was a problem because I never made a pair of mittens in my life, didn't have a pattern, and I don't sew without a pattern. So I just kept praying, and pretty soon I knew that it should be wool mittens and they need to be fleece lined, and I still don't have a pattern. So then I was hearing I should be sending these over to the hub. Well, I don't know anybody at the hub. I don't know any homeless people. This all just seemed not very real to me. But it wouldn't go away. So Christmas Day, almost a year ago, I finally shared my little dreams with my sister Carol. And Carol said, well, we better start looking for a pattern. So we hop on the internet and we are looking for patterns. And we found several. Each I tried didn't work or had parts that worked. So I started modifying, putting my own little tweak on them, trying to make something that would work. And as the days went by, I began sewing, but I only had about half the faith I needed. I had faith enough to sew, but not courage enough to call the hub. It seemed like it was a need that was probably already met. It was too obvious. So I kept sewing, and by January 3rd, I kind of gave myself an ultimatum. I have to call the hub today. And I called, not knowing who I would get. And when I tell this woman on the other end of the line, what my dream was all about, she said, "Oh my goodness, you're making mittens." We sent 4 people to the ER this past weekend with frostbitten hands. Boy, do we need mittens. She said, "You better do just what God told you to do." And I said, "Well, okay, but how many do you need? Do you need 10 or 110? And she said, "Oh, 110. And I'm thinking, oh, Lordy, where am I going to get the wool? How am I going to do this? And I said, "Really? You need 110? She said, "Well, no." She needed 200, really. And I thought, oh, okay, goodbye. And I sat down and I had 2 emotions. One, I was, wow, God, you really knew the need. I had no idea. And the other one was, oh, where am I going to get the stuff? And I was really worried about that. So it was a Wednesday, and on Wednesday nights I get together with my retired teacher friends, and I finally shared this whole story with them. Well, they just jumped into action, said, "Wow, we could do this, and how about that? And do you know how to shop Goodwill on the $1 day?" And I didn't. I do now. And so we all went out scrounging for wool and fleece. We were shopping. They were spending their money. I was spending my money and our time. Then we got together and had a number of cutting parties after we'd washed, dried, ripped apart all the woolies. Then we cut them out. I began sewing. And though this has been my project with the hub, God has a way of just messing stuff up. I think he's a leaker, because my little box that I thought I was to be in sewing mittens for the hub kind of leaked out. Pretty soon I knew the rescue mission needed about 75 mittens, and then the women's shelter needed mittens, and the free store needed mittens, and the free store in Malta needs mittens. And this all got kind of out of proportion, but I thought, well, I have plenty of wool. It keeps coming in. Neighbors and friends of friends, people I don't even know, the Kiwanis Club, all kinds of people have been donating to this project. And I guess I've learned that the sharing piece has a long string. I mean, people give me things, they share it with me, and my friends share their time and money, and I share the mittens to people and places, and then they share it. Even our scraps go to a lady who makes little beds for neutered pets. And the buttons we cut off go to a Girl Scout troop in Laurel. I don't know what they use them for, but the sharing is kind of like a never-ending circle. And so this is the project I think I'm called to do. I couldn't do it without all the other sharers so that I can share. So I guess I learned from it is God just blows the boundaries off of our sharing. We can pigeonhole it however we want, but really He's in charge. And I just want to encourage you to enjoy sharing. It's fun at every level. You don't have to be the mitten maker to have fun. So I want you to think about what is your story or part of your story, what is sharing, and share that with the person who's sitting next to you.